Claas, how much have you made, let's say, over the last 4 weeks exactly with high ticket sales? And yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I started my first closing position in the beginning of January, probably the second week of January. And so far I made roughly 100K in revenue, which is $6,000 roughly in commission.
Hey, this is Markus Dunk here, and I'm sitting here today with one of our clients, Claas from Germany, who just generated $6,000 in income with closing high ticket sales remotely. We're going to talk about his story today, about what exactly Claas is doing and how we helped him get there. And yeah, Claas, thanks a lot for tuning in. I really appreciate you being here and connecting with you today.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to share my story for you guys, and yeah, very looking forward to having the interview with you today.
Me too. I'm super excited that we actually get together today and celebrate your success and learn more about you. So, Claas, how much have you made, let's say, over the last 4 weeks exactly with high ticket sales? And yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I started my first closing position in the beginning of January, probably the second week of January. And so far I made roughly 100K in revenue, which is $6,000 roughly in commission.
Income for you.
Yeah, in commission for me. Yes, that's what I get onto my bank account.
Great. So within just like, what is that? Nearly like now we have end of February 21st at the time of this recording. So within a little bit more than a month, 1.5 months, you basically became a six-figure closer, starting from scratch.
Right? Yeah, pretty much. Yes. I mean, I obviously did the program with you guys, but yeah. And I also started with the setup position, but it was just for like 2 weeks, and then I was able to get started with the closing position within the agency I'm closing for, and it's also on the German market. So yeah, I was very of course happy to get the closing position very soon.
Yeah. That's great. You know, oftentimes I have people that are asking me, hey, Marcus, like I speak with an accent, or English is not my first language, you know, and they're asking me, are there opportunities outside of the English market? And I always tell them it's like one of your biggest advantage. If you speak German or Spanish or some additional language, it's a huge advantage rather than being a disadvantage. How do you think about that?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, there are programs everywhere on the market, not only on the English market. So yeah, I'm very blessed to being able to speak German, and I can also imagine to get an opportunity on the English market as well. So that just gives me way more opportunities, of course. And yeah, so you can basically become a closer with every language.
Totally. Yeah, that's like, tell us a little bit more about kind of what kind of deals are you closing? I mean, as much as you can share. I know there are limits to this on what you can talk about, but what kind of deals are those? Some people, they're always wondering like, all right, Marcus, what are your students closing? Like what is that? Like what deal?
Good question. Yeah, I'm closing high ticket, of course. It's a 4K deal, or 4K. I can say that, I think. And it's in
4,000 euros, or is that because
4,000 euros, which is probably 4.5K in dollars, roughly. And it's in the health niche.
Okay.
And it's like a program which is 1 year. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. So basically just health. I know when you came to us, you were already very sporty. Okay. You did like marathons and all of these things. So you actually managed to find something that is already within your interests. Okay. So health and fitness, that's already something that you had a natural interest in, if I understood this correct.
Yeah.
I mean, how did you go about finding this closing gig? Like, how did you come across this?
Yeah, so as you said, we have to think about our connections we have, and so my sister actually did or is doing a program also in the nutrition niche kind of thing, and so the agency who is selling the program for this particular program she's doing right now also, of course, does other projects. So I were connected by the influence of the program for my sister, and she told me that the specific agency is doing the high ticket closing for her. And then I reached out to them, and I got connected from the influencer, right?
Yes.
And then I was able to start the setting position very, very quick.
Awesome, great. So basically, over your network, people that you know already is how you got to that position.
Yeah. I mean, I got familiar with the agency, right? But within the agency, I didn't know anybody, right? But they, gave me the chance to start with them together.
Yeah, you close them.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, man, it also helped. The program helped me to get this opportunity. So it's not about or only about closing high ticket deals. It also helps me in my daily life, right? For interviews, for negotiations, for even with my family, with the girlfriend relationships. So it's it's a daily life skill. So
it's a very universal skill set. Like once you learn it, it is very hard to unlearn. Like you cannot just forget it. You know, it's kind of like what you learned once, what you have seen, like what you've seen cannot be unseen, right? So what you first kind of realize and learn, it's very hard to leave it behind. And then
exactly,
you're just going to start applying into all areas of your life.
And I always thinking on which techniques or things you taught me I'm able to apply in certain situations in my daily life, and that's awesome, right? So I really love that, and it has changed my life, my perspectives, right? So as you just said,
like tell us a little bit about like what were you doing before you joined our mentoring program and before the two of us met? Like how were things there? What did you do with your life there? What were you up to?
Yeah, so currently also back then I'm studying, and I was always like, man, you have to do the best out of this time, and you are able to do stuff beside that, so once I'm done, I don't want to just start a random job. So I wanted always figured out what I really want to do, right? What I also really love. So also back then I did an apprenticeship, and overall I mean I didn't like it in the way that I don't want to do it my entire life. So I was thinking, during my studying time that I really need a skill, basically, right? And then Oscar, also a client from you, right? He, I got in touch with him, and he told me about you and your program, and then I got very interested in, and just booked a call with you. And after our call, I was really like, man, I have to make it happen in order to being able to start the program, because also honestly, I haven't had the money for the program. So I took a credit or a loan, right? So that was really...
Some people might be thinking that, but that's quite a big risk, like...
But of course, I mean, it's if you don't take certain risks, you are not able to get a better life, right? So you really have to take a risk in order to achieve your goals and achieve really your higher goals, your ambitions. So for me, it was just very, I really had to do that. in order to make it happen, in order to start your program.
And how do you feel about the decision now?
Yeah, I am, of course, I'm more than happy that I made this decision and that I did the program with you. And otherwise, I probably don't know right now what I really want to do in life or in my next couple of years. And I was always thinking what I really want to do, right? Especially after my studying time. So now I'm very blessed that I can close leads from everywhere. I'm also going to travel to Spain on Saturday.
Saturday. That's great.
On Saturday,
This week.
Yeah. So
this week actually. We have Monday today. This week.
This week, yeah. This week. For just 2.5 weeks, but to Spain, Valencia, and I'm really looking forward to just closing deals from abroad and having some sun, right? Right now here in Germany, it's still winter. It's still very cold, right? Very nasty outside, very rainy currently, and just looking forward to be in Spain and closing deals and having a good time and learning Spanish, of course.
That's amazing, man. So just this skill, it like that's what I always say. It gives you so much freedom. You know, you don't everything you need is you just need your phone or your laptop, and you can basically go wherever you want. And as long as you have a stable internet connection, of course, that's a requirement, right? You're pretty much good to go. You don't have any overhead costs. You don't need to do any fulfillment. You don't need to deal with suppliers, anything like that. It's a really lean business model, and everything is basically based on you, right? It's just you, your communication, your voice, and that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's definitely about me, about being on point and just having like a laptop, as you just said, good Wi-Fi connection, and that's it.
Awesome, man. And then I mean, closing a couple of deals there, and then as well as learning more Spanish. I think that sounds like a good plan. Do you want to go with your girlfriend?
No, just by myself, since she has to work, but maybe she comes for just one weekend over.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you actually have the freedom to do it. So why not?
And I can do it by myself, right? So it's
super exciting, man. That's exciting. I love it. So like what would you feel like did we help you with the most? Like what was the most valuable from the mentoring? Like let's say like your biggest lesson from our mentoring program that you got.
Wow, that's a tough one actually. To pick one specific out. I mean, probably just maybe I just start. So maybe probably how the program is structured, that you really start from the bottom, you start with yourself, working on yourself, really getting clear. And then we just follow your instruction and we just do what you say we have to do in order to make it happen, in order to succeed, right? Also with the influencer outreach, just Carmina, your girlfriend, that she helped me with social media, which was a challenge for me personally. And then it was just a consequence that I succeed, right? As long as I didn't give up and I'm being consistent and being on your training sessions and just being coachable. So it was a consequence that I succeed, and I also was very confident because you gave me the confidence. And you are obviously a very good closer as well. So I was really able to learn from you also, which was probably most important, so to learn from you as a closer to get the skill set. To pick one specific highlight out of the program, the unconditional support, maybe. Always able to book a one-on-one call with you together. Just your advice also, right? Even if it's not about closing, you gave me oftentimes very valuable advice. What I should do So yeah, so a bunch of different things actually.
That's great. Yeah, and this is also why, you know, why I believe so much into investing into mentors. You know, that you just have someone there who went through the same journey already, that someone who has you back, that if something comes up, you can just go to that person and say, hey, like, what should I do? You know, and oftentimes these small decisions, they're going to direct the direction. They have a very big impact on the actual direction that you're going. You know, what do you think about our community and the people that you met throughout this journey?
Great, fantastic. I mean, we did a meetup in Frankfurt and here in Germany a couple of weeks ago. I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago. So
Awesome.
we actually met in person, and it was just great. I mean, in the beginning, it was a bit weird, right, to see them not on the video.
Yeah, in real life.
Like... yeah, just in real life. Yeah, that was great, right? And everybody is very open-minded. Everybody is really interested in you as... yeah, we connected very well and very fast, and we had a very good time. So and yeah, overall, of course, it's super valuable because everybody looks into the same direction. Everybody wants to succeed as a closer, wants to become a closer, of course. And so it makes it way more easier, right? Also to have role plays with your peers. We did role plays, every day, right? A couple of times every day, and it's also very valuable in terms of learning the skill. Sure, you have to practice. As you always also told us, right? So yeah, very great community. I'm still in touch with them, of course, and also I want to keep in touch with them. So it's not about once I succeed, I'm done with them, right? It's more about friends and building a community for your life.
100%. Yeah, that's so good to hear. And I also believe like peers and the people around you, it's so important that you have others around you who like on the same journey that you are. And it also forces you to level up your game. You know, for example, if you see someone, I don't know, who's just absolutely crushing it, who's even doing better than you doing right now, it just forces you to level up your game and you see what's possible. But then at the same time, people who might not be at the level yet where you are today, right now, like at the 6K per month, they will be looking up and they're like, damn, like if Claas can do it, like I can do it. Like what's my excuse? You know, like I should do that as well. You know, so that's super, super good. And I think a very important aspect is really the peer groups, that they forcing you to level up and that you have people around you who are crushing it as well.
Yeah.
You know? So what I would be curious about, because
just one more point to that actually. I think if you or if I wouldn't make it, so to speak, in your program, I wouldn't being able to make it somewhere else, basically.
Why do you think that?
I want to grab my charger real quick.
Oh yeah, sure. We don't want that battery to just die in the middle of the
interview. Right. Yeah. So why I think that, because you give us like the essentials, right? So the skill set, the group we just spoken about, and you as a mentor, you as the expert in closing, you know, and if I wouldn't have these parts, then I probably haven't done it right in this period of time. Yeah,
I like that. And you did it. I mean, you're such a dream client at the end of the day. you're always like showing up, you know, you're always very coachable. You know, there was never a situation that I can remember where I told you to do something or Carmina was telling you to take care of something and you came out with some excuse. You always just got it done. You said like, okay, I do it again. All right, I do it. All right. And you were just very consistent and very coachable for this entire journey. Now, which I have to give you credit for as well, of being such an amazing.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man. Yeah, but in the end, it's very simple, right? Because you are where I want to be. So you know it better than me anyway. So I really just have to do what you have, what you do, what you tell me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it's not like very, maybe someone else don't really understand it in some way. That's why he doesn't do it. But I think it's very simple, right?
Yeah. I always like to do it that way. I look at people who have the life that I want, and these are the people I want to learn from. Okay. I wouldn't go to someone, and I don't say that now to offend anyone, but I wouldn't go to anyone who's overweight to ask them for fitness advice. Okay. So that's kind of the same principle that is touching on what you just said. Okay. So, all right, Markus is where I want to be. He's closing deals already. He's traveling. I like that. So I just gonna take his advice. Yeah, but you wouldn't want to really take advice from someone who's just working in an office job or something like that, or get relationship advice from someone who's divorced. Also, you have to be careful with that. You take the advice, you take their life. So that's very, very important that you only take advice from people who have the life that you want. Okay?
Yeah. And you do it as well, right? You have a couple of different mentors. So that's, yeah.
And it's the easiest way.
Yeah, by far.
It's the easiest way. If you're watching it, the easiest way to become successful is investing into a mentor and just executing and just doing the work, what they tell you.
And you save so much time, right? And in the end, time is the biggest asset in our world, I think. Even 100%. Yeah.
Like the richest people in the world, the most successful people in the world, they do not have more time than you or me. We all have 24 hours per day. Right? So what I'm super curious about, Claas, is, I mean, of course, your family, your girlfriend, they knew where you've been before as a student, your financial situation, all of that. And now that you're making around 6K per month, what are they like what are they saying about your progress?
Yeah.
They know, have you told them, or you haven't? I mean, of course, probably you did, but tell me about that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I just told my girlfriend, of course, my mom, for example, about that. Some very close friend as well, but not to everybody at all, just to avoid noise around me, which disturb me. And you know that, right? So I really just try to be inwardly humble, as you always also says, right? Which really helped me. And my girlfriend, she firstly she didn't really get it or believed or agreed or were able to agree that I'm closing high tickets and making so much in revenue and in the end also in commission. So that was really, really cool to see, and just very great. And she always supports me, and I was really able to have a nice dinner with her. I paid for everything. We had so much food, right? And so, and my family, my mom also is just very happy about that. She also didn't believe it in the first place. And she actually also wants to do it in some way. She was like, oh man, I really have to learn the skill as well, and it's probably something for me as well.
Awesome.
But
that's great.
So does that answer your question?
Yeah, for sure. How does it make you feel now that you can just can take out your girlfriend for dinner whenever you want? You said you can pay for everything. Your mom now knowing that you save, that's most of the time what all parents want, just that we want that you save, that we can make our own money, that we can take care of ourselves. So how does it feel to you to now be in a position where you actually have the financial confidence, you will always be able to go out there and close someone on working with you, or you closing a deal, you being able to step it up in your relationship, taking care of your girlfriend? How does that make you feel?
Of course, very, very good and very happy. actually. It also gave me a lot more self-confidence. And I'm just happier, of course, especially if I just love helping people and really act in their best interest. And you get a decent income as well, so a win-win scenario for sure. And yeah, back to your question. Yeah, it's honestly, so I during my studying time, I get some financial support from my parents, but now I don't need it anymore, right? So, so everybody knows when you're studying, it's quite hard in terms of money, and you really have to pay for rent, for everything else, for food. So now I'm able to not being financial dependent anymore. So I can pay for everything else, and I'm also able to travel to Spain, invite my girlfriend whenever I want, and yeah, and it's just the beginning, right? It's a marathon, and I'm able to just work for every company basically, or the skill is just needed outside. And everybody needs good closers. That makes me happy, right?
Something very important that you just mentioned there. It's very universal. So you literally can take the skill from one industry to another, and you apply the same principles, the same strategies of closing to a completely different industry if you want to. So that really gives you, it makes you recession proof at the end of the day. You know, if some industry goes down, you can just switch over to another one. You know, tell us a little bit, what does your day-to-day life look like right now? How much calls do you take? Like, what do you do? Like, what else do you do in your day?
Currently, honestly, I'm still in my exams period. So I'm spend, of course, some time on my study program, and right now I'm still like, I really want to get things done and get my degree, even though, you know, I probably don't need it, so to speak, but but I really cannot tell, you know, in 5 years, 10 years, if I want to settle in Germany, get a family, and maybe work in a corporate job where I eventually need a degree. So I just want to get it done. Also, I'm the type of guy who get things done basically. I mean, you also, right? You did that as well back then, and
just finish it. You have it.
Yeah, you know? Right. And I'm still able, you know, I'm still have time. That's also why was able to do the program. And now I start working probably in the first week 40 hours, 40 hours per week, since the leads were very hard, and I was just being able to have many closing calls, and then I reduced my time to 15 hours per week, also because of studying my exams, and now I'm increasing my time again, like 20 hours per week maybe right now. And roughly 5 closing calls per day, sometimes more, sometimes less, right? Some follow-up calls as well sometimes.
That's great. So you're basically doing now like 20 hours per week, give or take, half-time, part-time, basically. You
definitely part-time.
The other half you're doing your study program.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm also, like you said, I'm very sporty, and I do a lot of sports. Just came from the gym today and had some free time between the calls, and it feels so good just to do whatever I want and not being dependent on any supervisor or any work schedule. I just can set my own time. I just put it in my calendar, and the people just can schedule the call in my time where I am available. So yeah, that's pretty convenient. And
I really like how you structured it, that once you, like, when you started, you did 40 hour weeks. So you really were diving in. And then you just adjusted the times to what really works best for you. And that's always what I like, that the fact about closing, that you can work like extremely hard and long if you want to, you know, and it's very, very nicely rewarded if you put in the work, if you put in the effort, you know. So it's, again, this is not passive income or anything like that. People love to the idea of passive income. This is really active income, you know, but the time that you're putting is very, very nicely compensated. Okay, so you're
100%
in the time that you're putting in.
Yeah, 100%, and that's what I really love. I'm really responsible in terms of my income. The more I work, the more money I get. The better I am, the more money I get. So it's not just about time, you know. Usually you get for your time money, right? And here it's about commissions, about delivering and closing deals in the end, which I love. Really, that's great.
Yeah, you know, something that I always loved about closing remotely is just the freedom of doing what you want. You know, I personally love working hard. It's very fulfilling to me. I really get a joy out of it. I like it. And with closing, everything essentially really depends on you and on yourself only, right? There are no, like I said, no suppliers, no external factors that really come into play. Now, so this is definitely not something for somebody who's lazy or who just wants to make a quick buck. Yeah, this is really for someone who actually wants to build something legit and wants to develop a skill that they will be able to rely on for the rest of their life.
Yeah, 100% again. So it's not about being lazy and get things automatically. It's not easy, for sure. You really have to put in the hours to show up always, and not to make it happen. And yeah, the more consistent you are, the more hours you put in, the faster you will get your results. So yeah,
definitely.
I mean, it's simple again, right? So
yeah. I mean, you said it's not easy. I agree. It is. I wouldn't say it isn't easy, but what would you say to someone who, maybe there's someone who's not 100% sure about our program or the mentoring program? Maybe it's someone who thinks, I don't know if I am capable of learning the skill of closing. Maybe it's someone who says, I'm not that good with people right now. Or it's just someone that is considering about joining, but they don't know if it's just the right thing for them. So what would you tell a person like that or someone like that?
Yeah, I mean, you don't know it until you give it a shot, until you dive in, until you start. And once you're able to speak with real person and real closing calls, then I think you can build your opinion and reflect. And I think it's also about learning the skills. So someone who might be not good with people yet, he can learn it. So it's not about talent. It's about put in the hours. So everybody can do it as long as he wants to commit to become a closer. And the stronger you commit, the better you will get.
What if, like, you know, sometimes also I talk to people and they're like, you know, Markus, I think I will first try to make this work on my own. And then I might join your mentoring program and I get some help once I start closing my first deal. So what would you tell someone like that?
That's bullshit, man. I mean, really, I would tell him that he have to do the program. Otherwise, it just takes so much more time, right? To make it, again, we have spoken about that and previously. It takes so much more time if you do it by yourself rather than joining a program, which gives you everything: the frame, the people, the group. So I would, I would tell him that he can do it, of course. I mean, it's his decision in the end, but if he really wants to make it happen fast, right? Usually the people wants to get fast results. They don't want to being patient and
That's so true.
Right. So that's why he should join the program, right? So
yeah, it's just basically a fast track, right? To your success. But that's awesome. So Claas, what will be the next steps for you looking forward? Of course, you will be flying out to Spain this weekend, which is amazing. Have you already considered like what's going to be next week? Of course, we will continue to work with you until we get you to the 10K. Now,
awesome.
But kind of what is on your horizon? Like what's like your plan for the next couple of months? Like what are the next steps for you?
Yeah, I really want to double down on my current opportunity since I really love the program. I really love the people I'm working with. So I really want to double down on that. I think there's still potential, right? And also the next class starts in the beginning of April. So I'm expecting in March huge or tons of good leads. Very great closing calls. So I'm looking forward for that as well, or for sure. And yeah, continue my studying program. So I will do a semester abroad in summer in Chile, in South America.
Exciting,
and
man.
of course I will close from there as well. So I can do that, right? That's what I want. And yeah, maybe there is another opportunity which I can also do. So I'm always looking for, I'm open-minded, and if there comes a better opportunity or a second opportunity, I consider that for sure. So again, it was just the start, and now I continue since it's going pretty well. But I'm also looking forward to travel.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You've built so much momentum over the last few weeks. So I'm pretty confident that we're just going to be able to grow you from here. And especially because when you are on offer, when you're closing deals that you can really put yourself behind, which is the case with what you do. And that's also very important. I always tell everyone, but I probably also told it to you throughout our mentoring, where I was like, okay, if you wouldn't close your mom on this program, like don't jump on the offer. Okay. So you really want to make sure that you put yourself behind, that you can stand behind the program, and that you know that it's giving life-changing results for the people that you close. Because this is like, that's for me personally, the only way really to become super successful as a closer. Now, just selling stuff where you're not getting people results, it's not going to get you anywhere long term. Now, so I do, that's very, very important. And you doubling down on this position that you have where you can put yourself behind, I think is definitely the right strategy here as well.
Absolutely, yes. I really love the program actually. And if you're not really behind the program, as you just said, you are not able to be successful. And I think it's also about responsibility. So you don't want to manipulate or sell something bullshit. Because in the end of the day, I think it's your obligation to really help the people, and they are investing a lot of money, right? Especially for people who don't have that much money. Maybe they decide to even invest that money into them, and if you then not really behind the program, I think it actually won't help them. You shouldn't do that, right? And I wouldn't be able to sleep well if I being like that, right?
Yes.
So
so that's like the mindset side. That's very, very important to understand for everyone who is looking into becoming a closer, that you really are goodwill driven. Okay, that you're really doing things ethically. We're not here to twist people's arms or anything like that, or especially if people taking out a credit or something like that to join a specific program or do a specific service like you did. Best case example, right? You also took a credit. And you really want to make sure that they're getting a benefit out of it, like you did, for example. Now, Claas, is there anything else that you want to mention before we're going to wrap up things here? before we're gonna wrap things up here.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I want to thank you for your unconditional support, and also Carmina, your girlfriend as well. I think you're a great team, and you are really have an impact on a lot of people, and yeah, making or helping to make dreams coming true in the end. And I'm just very grateful for you guys, and I would do it again and again. So it was a very good decision to do your program, and I really I really have a huge profit on that personally, and also money wise, of course.
Awesome. I love it, man. Well, thanks to you for being so coachable and still being so coachable and still being such a great client.
Sure, man.
And like you said at the beginning, like this is just the beginning. Like we're just getting you started. Literally, like 6K per month is great. It's a good milestone, but we're gonna continue to grow you to the 10K and beyond. So I really like. Hopefully, we have you on in a couple of months. We can continue this chat, and see how things are then. But yeah, thanks for coming on, Claas here. I think we had a great conversation. I'm super proud of you. You did amazing transformation, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to continue crushing it with you, man.
Yeah, man, of course. Appreciate your feedback also. And yeah, same to you. You're a great mentor. Keep doing your great work and helping many people, having an impact. And yeah, we keep in touch, right? And I'm very happy to still get some advice from you someday or sometimes.
Let's crush it, man. Let's continue to crush it. Awesome. Thank you so much, Claas. So if you're still watching this and if you enjoyed the interview that we had with Claas, then you will find a link down below in the description where you can just click and then see if you can find a time for us to reconnect to see on how we can make this work for you as well. I really hope you enjoyed the interview. Take care and bye-bye.